Cody Rhodes has indeed finished the story. Let's talk about it. So unless you've been living under a rock, you'd know that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns had a match for the ages. A match that will be remembered by many for a very long time. But let's start off with the entrances, because I did not expect Cody Rhodes to come out with a mask, and well, it definitely stands out. And Roman Reigns, his entrance was very similar to last year, where you had people performing his theme song, which is always fun. My only complaint is that I wish Roman Reigns wore a different coloured glove, because he's worn that red glove for a very long time now. And yeah, it would have been a nice touch. So in terms of the match itself, it was definitely a war. We had Cody going through the announcers table, we had them fighting in the crowd, and Roman even hit Cody with a crossroads at one point. And I always love it when wrestlers use their opponent's finishing move, because not only does it feel like a statement, but by potentially beating them, it makes their move feel even stronger. And yes, there were a lot of near falls in this match, but because of how big of a deal this match felt, it felt warranted. So as the bout went on, we got Jimmy Uso super kicking Cody. So I guess his alliance still lies with the bloodline. But then Jey Uso showed up to even the odds and hit a wicked spear off the stage through some tables. But then who decided to show up but none other than Solo Sikoa. He gave Cody the spike, and at this point, when they hit their double finishing move, I honestly didn't know if Cody was going to kick out. But not only did he kick out, but who came to the rescue? Yep, that's right, it was John Cena, who took out the member of the bloodline with an AA through the announcers table, which would have been fine on its own. But then, the final boss showed up. And as someone who watched John Cena vs The Rock at WrestleMania 28 and WrestleMania 29, this was a surreal moment. Because yeah, we've seen them interact before. We had WrestleMania 32 when they took out the Wyatt family, and when The Rock returned a few months ago. But seeing them in the ring, facing off with one another, I got goosebumps. So The Rock gave Cena a rock bottom, and then the Shield music hit, and I thought Dean Ambrose was about to show up. So at this point, a lot of people thought that Stone Cold Steve Austin was going to show up. But we didn't get that. We got the dead man himself, The Undertaker. Now again, my only complaint about this is that I wish that The Undertaker showed up in his normal wrestling attire. Because yes, I know that The Rock and The Undertaker have had several matches, but that was a very long time ago. So to see The Undertaker in his wrestling gear, it would have been a cool sight to see. And a lot of people may say that this was overbooked by having so many stars show up. But I think it just added to the match itself, because they've all had history with Roman Reigns and the bloodline. John Cena lost to Solo Sikoa, and Roman Reigns gave The Undertaker his second loss at WrestleMania. So it is valid. And I definitely got Avengers Endgame vibes from all of this. So after all of that, the lights came back on, and Roman Reigns stood there with a chair. Cody was on one side, and Seth was on the other. And Roman took out Seth Rollins instead, which I thought was an interesting callback to the Shield, and Roman wanting to get his revenge, even though he already did that at the Royal Rumble. But hey, I guess he wanted more revenge. But as the Tribal Chief set up for the spear, the American Nightmare caught him, and after not just one, not just two, but 3 crossroads, Cody Rhodes pinned Roman Reigns and is now your new WWE Undisputed Champion. And when Charles Robinson handed Cody that title, something just felt different, because he'd won previous titles before. He's held the NWA Championship, he's held the Ring of Honor Championship, but seeing him with that title, it just felt right. And speaking of right, that ending with Cody Rhodes celebrating his newly won championship, and all the people that have had to deal with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline in one way or the other were there to celebrate their new champion. And I know that WWE does carry on. It doesn't have an ending. But if this was the ending to WWE, I wouldn't be mad about it. A 3-year reign that showcased dominance, that showcased the true character of Roman Reigns and what he's really capable of. It came to an end tonight, and the torch could not have been passed over to a better person. Cody Rhodes deserves this moment, and even though it took a long time to get here, it took getting released, it took going on the indies and making a name for himself across several promotions, and it even took a defeat 1 year ago. But now, as we stand here 1 year later, the story is now complete, and his dreams finally became a reality. Leave a like, subscribe, and more importantly, take care.